This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. I'd like to be joined by Jordan Reynolds tonight. Jordan, before we get down to boxing talk, how are you?
I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Very good. Thank you for asking. Let's talk about you. It's been a weird time for everyone the last few months. You've been sort of waiting to make your mark in the pro ranks. What's it been like for you training-wise? You been managing okay?
Yeah, listen, nothing's really changed. Us boxers were always in isolation, as you'll know. It's just a bit of a frustrating time due to getting my license and, being able to fight. Do you know what I mean? Because now these fights are going ahead behind closed doors. I'm kind of stuck in the mud because I haven't got my license, but I'm starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel. They're saying October for me, the next big show. So end of August to get my license, September, and then be out on big shows and big platforms and bring back the showmanship, companies' entrances to the fighting. I've got so many ideas, mate. I can't wait. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be bringing having a bit of fun with it all. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure you're itching by now to make that pro debut. It's been a long time coming, Jordan. Now, as I understand, you're in Ireland at the minute. You're working with Peter Taylor. I'd imagine it's not been easy sort of being back and forward during this time. How long have you been able to get back and forward and get back in that routine?
Before everything started getting a bit strict, I thought to myself, I knew I was going to be based in Ireland. So I thought, I'm just going to get over there quick. Do you know what I mean? And if I'm just say I can't get back, then I think I'm fine. Because as long as I can get to the gym, I don't care. As long as I can start, cracking on, learning the pro game more and meeting the lads, gelling with Pete, I don't really care. And I made that move, and I've been stuck here since. I've been here for a couple of months. I fly back now and then. If I've got a week off, I'll just go back to see the family and split things up. But I'm happy here. I'm happy here. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the countryside. I'm away from all distractions back at home because we all get a bit distracted. And now that Ibiza's open up and it's starting to open up, and all the lads are ringing me, I'm just like, nah. I want to stay in Ireland, crack on with my training, crack on with the sparring, and get this. I've got about 10 weeks to a fight, so I just can't. That's the main. I just can't wait. I just need to get the first one out of the way, and then just let the momentum go. Do you know what I mean? Keep going with the momentum. So, but it's a crazy time for everyone. Do you know what I mean? It really is.
With that link up with Peter, how did it come about, and how much do you feel you've learned already being isolated out there and just focusing on pure boxing all the time?
I'll come up. I know every fight says I'll come up leaps and bounds, but I genuinely am it's crazy. I'm sparring these lads. They come over. They won the national titles just gone last year and things like that. And I'm putting people away. I'm putting people away now. I'm starting to see on my shots a bit more. The pro games always suit me anyway, but different level. I seen Pete years ago in the Irish when he was in Irish team. He was traveling to Russia and Cuba and things like that. I thought, I need to be there. He's been there. He's got the experience. There's some other coaches where they're at clubs and fighters who are already established are there. He's built up the likes of Katie Taylor and Adam Nolan and all these Olympic champions by himself from his own gym from when they're young. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's just his passion and he just lives boxing. He's like he's like me. I've got to be busy. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just boxing, and he's the same. So it was just a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer for me to be here, and I'm flying at the moment. I'm really flying. I just need to get in the ring. Need to just crack on. Need to start just getting up the ranks. No messing about. Straight into a 6-rounder fight, and then hopefully get these titles by the end of next year or the year after. But I ain't messing around, mate. I'm coming to no messing about.
We'll come on to what lies ahead and what came before. But before we do that, I just want to speak about what you did pre-lockdown. You were out in Africa. You're doing some charity work. I've seen the photos and the videos. It looked amazing. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, look, I've always, even as I was just coming up the ranks as an amateur and started boxing, from my services back at home and I always like to give back. So I know how it is. I know how it is not to have nothing, and someone who can come into influence, I think is key. It's a key role. So I had the opportunity to go to Africa, and I thought, you know what, we all take a blind eye. We see, and I'll be honest, I won't give my money to some of these charities because I know 80% goes to their pocket and another 10% goes to the government pocket, and they get about a percent. So I thought, you know what, if I want to help someone, I've got to do it myself. So I raised, 5-6 grand by myself, went over there with loads of donations, and I can't change people's lives, but do you know what? For that whole week, I could honestly say I gave them all. I just been there to entertain and speak to them and just learn the culture and opens your eyes and in your mind, just different cultures. it's crazy. It's a crazy world, you know. It's crazy, but I'm very it's yeah. Once a year, I would like to get out and do some charity stuff, different countries, you know, Philippines or Africa, and just to I think it's key. It keeps you humble, it keeps you grounded, and it makes you realise like how life could be, you know.
This is something I've spoken to Badu Jack about. He has his own foundation. He likes to go out and do a lot of charity work when he can. You know, you said you've always had this conscious effort to give back. In your opinion, does your legacy away from the ring mean just as much, if not more, than what you'll go on to achieve in the ring?
Oh yeah, yes. Listen, like it's not like the only thing with boxing helps, right? With the boxing, it helps you. You can help more because you get a bigger name. So like you brand yourself, and you can like people look up to you. So you've got more of a power to change people's lives and that. But yeah, like if I can like in the future, I'd love to like make my own campaign and do it properly. You know what I mean? And help other charity events. Sure.
Let's come on to your boxing career. Then you're itching to come and make your mark. Why is now the right time? I know you made it clear you were turning pro several months ago, and we've had these delays. Yeah. Why now?
Just all with the pandemics kind of stuff, and like I've done my 4 years with Team GB, the Olympic team. I've had over 120 over 120 fights. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just.
Can I come for it on helmet?
I'm not sure, mate. I'm sure. Sorry. Had over 120 fights. So I've learned my apprenticeship. Do you know what I mean? Olympics would have been a icing on the cake, and then they sent someone who I beat him last year. They sent him for the first qualifiers, which would be in London. I thought, do you know what? I ain't hanging about. But I'm not going to hang about, and luckily, like some of them lads are stuck there for another 2 or 3 years. So I'm out of contract. I'm ready to start a new chapter in my career, and I feel like it's just everything's the right time for me. I started boxing a bit late, but really, 16 years old, I've still got this hunger here, and where a lot of people it fades when they start early, and then I got into the Olympic team at the right time. I'm 25 now, so over 70 plus senior fights as well. And at world level, international level. So yeah, I'm ready. I'm happy. Like I'm very happy what I've done. Like the pro game was always my dream for me. Like that's the whole showmanship and just the entertaining stuff. That's me. Like I love that. Olympics was just like a thing where prove to people that I can make the thing. And I've done that because everyone said I started boxing a bit too late and I never had the style for it. So I wanted to do that, and then obviously learn my apprenticeship as well, learn my trade, and now I feel like I'm at a good level. So let's get it on the pros.
You touched on it briefly there, Jordan. You said that you started boxing late. I think you were 15, 16 when you had your first fight. What was it that first lured you into the boxing gym? We could just go back to your background. What was it?
I think you probably hear it from most boxers. We're all brought up a bit rough and ready. Where I'm from, if you're not tough, you're never going to get by. If you can't fight, you're an easy target. And I was getting into a lot of trouble, and luckily I found a boxing gym. Well, I was getting into a lot of trouble. He said I can work there 10 in the morning to 10 at night. Kind of, like, I thought to myself, oh great, but really what he was doing, it was keeping me away from all the shit going on and all the stuff I was bringing back home. I was bringing police home every weekend, and he was kind of molding me. Like he was, drilling discipline and just pure respect into me. So yeah, it was just fun, like just being always staying there, loving a scrap on the street and things like that. To like thinking, I need to put it into a positive role, and I was kind of analysing everything. I thought I don't want to be going down this road where all the other lads are going through from seeing things I shouldn't have seen back at home and that. So I thought this is a way out for me. This is a way out.
How quickly from when you first started lacing up gloves and going down the gym did it become, this is my career, this is what I'm going to do, this is my way out? How quickly was that?
So when I look at it now, I think it's been mad. It all goes so quick. Like I think it was just when I first moved, when I first took that step to West Ham. Like my mum had to sell. We had no money. We ended up homeless and things like that. But I said to mum, I want to book to West Ham. So I remember I had 200 fights. And then they said, right, they sent me in ABAs, and it was the biggest championship. You're boxing kids with 50, 60 fights. I'm thinking to myself, I don't know, like everyone, I was either going to like, float or sink. So, but I got all the way to the final. I boxed everyone. Had 9 fights, got to the final, lost to world number 2 in the final. And I was like, all right. But when I was in the final, I saw the West Ham looking at us. I thought, I need to get to West Ham. And I said to mum, like, please, I need an opportunity. Like, and she told a bit of a draw. We made 300 quid, which is not a lot. It's like 2 months of training fare. But then 2 months in West Ham, I won my first national title, and I got a bit of sponsorship and things like that. And I thought, do you know what? I can make a bit of money out of this. And then, like, I gave a bit, this bunch of money, paid for the rest of my training, and I gave my money back, and that was a great feeling for me to give back to my mother and give back to my family. And then from then, everything just flew. Like, it just started going, and I got into the England team, becoming the captain, and then went to the Olympic team. And it's a crazy ride. It's a crazy journey. But I feel like the fighting game, the boxing, it come natural to me. Like, it kind of found me, if I'm honest. So I'm just, yeah.
You seem very grateful for how things have unfolded and the journey you've got ahead of you as well. Have you ever stopped and thought about where you'd be right now if you hadn't found boxing?
Yeah, like, I don't know what. I'll be at the other end. Like, I'm either up this end here, right, doing something positive and trying to make a good living, and doing things and giving back, and making it like the positive way, or I'm the other scale. Do you know what I mean? There's no in between for me. I'm an extremist. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, things would be a lot different. Do you know what I mean? Especially what I've seen as a kid now, man. I think myself, like, things would be a lot different. So that's why I encourage, like, when I was at school now, and I was getting sent to these, I will keep that school in anyway. But when I was about 12 years old, they're sending me to these anger management things. I'm thinking to myself, looking at these teachers telling me, I'm thinking, you don't know what you talk about. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. You've never been there. But and then I think to myself now, where I've been through that, and now I'll come into schools. It gives kids hope. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, like, it's crazy when you look back on things. To be fair.
It's interesting you made that point. A lot of people do believe that some sort of combat sport, whether it's boxing or judo or whatever, should be part of the national curriculum. Do you agree with that we should be teaching kids this art and this discipline?
Pretty much in schools, 100%. You'll see less bullying. You'll see less mental health. Like, mental health is a big key factor, but sometimes I can blame some of the parents' faults, where it's like they can't take the kids, because they're running around and not being out. They just give them a phone and stick them in the bedroom, and they're on Instagram comparing their lives, and they're 13 years old, comparing their lives to this fake world, and they get mental health and anxiety, thinking, my life. Do you know what I mean? Kids should be kids, right? Kids, let them cause a little bit of mischief outside. It's fun. Like, let them. Do you know what I mean? They got to learn the hard way. What's right, what's wrong. At least when they're a bit older, they're gonna have something about themselves and a bit of crack. Do you know what I mean? So I think we're kind of shouting them, and listen, all can be quite bad for it, but I think you got to know, and especially, like, seeing kids now, they're getting younger and younger, and it's causing more mental health issues, and yeah. But I think boxing will bring boxing back in schools will, push away the bullies and help bullies, because bullies are just people, like, who are influenced from what they experience at home. Do you know what I mean? So they're just putting insecurities on other people. So they have a bit of boxing, mate. It release them. So for sure, 100%, I'm all for that. All for that. I done a bit of boxing in a school in Africa, and mate, it was unbelievable. The kids loved it. So I think it's 100% key.
Now, Jordan, another one of your travel stories I wanted to sort of touch on. You've been down to Mayweather Gym. I've been down to Mayweather Gym just the once, and there is nowhere to hide in there when you're a fighter. Talk to me about the experience of sparring in there. I understand you're one of few fighters who've been over and experienced the doghouse rules.
Oh, mate, it's class. I loved it. Like, with me and Joe Laws, we kind of went on a holiday/training camp. Yeah, it was weird. It was a random one. It was an England team, and I was like, "Let's go to Vegas." He's like, "Oh, we hardly know each other here." It was a sweet book. I was like, "Yeah, go on then." And I was in Luton, down south, and he was in Newcastle. And we just both booked it from the holiday thing. And I was like, I've done it. And then we went there, and then I remember we were just, having a few drinks and that. And then I thought one day we was wrecked. We was like, let's go to the Mayweather gym. Let's just have a spa. Right, I said, the worst can happen, we get knocked out. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's a fight. So I went down there. We're like wearing like shorts, probably English lads. You know what I mean? Two white lads walking down. And I've come in. I said, oh, we want to spar. They were looking at us like, you don't want to spar. You don't want to spar. And I was like, no. I said, just want to spar. Like, all we had was like gum shields. And they were like, all right, wait there. So I'm waiting about 45 minutes, 50 minutes. I think to myself, they're taking a piss here. So I spoke to Mayweather's uncle, and I was like, look, listen. I said, you know what? I said, I spar anyone. I said, fuck it, I just sparred anyone. So Joe sparred first, sparred some lad. Joe said about him. That he sparred was all right. So it was handy. Joe stuck it to him. Then they put me in a doghouse with a skeezer. And I said, God, I've got a short straw here. And after 6 or 7 minutes, the geezer, his arsehole went. I was whipping the body shots in. And then we earned our respect and like, these are dogs, man. These dogs. They're like, come in tomorrow. You know, we'll help you do some stuff. And so it was like sound. So it was like that night there, we kind of celebrating. Like, we was all happy and that. Got to the Mayweather gym the next day. Like we probably got in about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. We was wrecked. And as we went in there, you see Floyd Mayweather's dad, Nathan Haney, Kevin Newman, Andrew Tabiti. And I'm like, I'm still steaming. I'm thinking to myself, Joe, I'm like, I've seen Nathan Haney. Like he's decent. Do you know what I mean? He's like, nah, I've never heard of him. I was like, trust me, like I've seen him. And then yeah, we just ended up sparring. I sparred Andrew Tabiti, and he sparred Kevin.
Devin.
Devin, yeah, that's it, Devin Haney. And Joe, to be fair, like I ain't gonna lie, Devin set about Joe for the first 2 rounds, but Devin got like, I don't know if it was the man strength or what it was, but Joe set about him in the last few rounds. He didn't want to know, and like they were supposed to do a few more rounds, but he jumped out after that. And I was supposed to Andrew to beat like their media and stuff is bigger than what they are. If I'm honest, like it's like Instagram. It's all lying, man. Like if you set about them, if you stick it on them a bit, I think they're a bit like. They like it their own way. Do you know what I mean? Like they get to choose their sparring partners and things like that. They get a bit comfortable. So we just went a bit old school and just had it out with them. So it was good. It was a good trip. I thought I'd pull 2. Oh mate, it was a crazy. So many stories, mate. So many stories.
What was it like sparring with Tabiti then? Because I understand you're going to turn over at middleweight. He's a big boy, Tabiti. What was that like?
Big like, oh, hang on, like, I was thinking to myself, I'm actually going to get chinned here. But you know what? Like I thought to myself, he won't do nothing. He won't do nothing. Like they're so like. Don't get me wrong. I only done like 5 or 6 rounds of him. Maybe if it was longer, it was different. But he won't. They're just lazy. It was just like, easy to hit, lazy. Yeah, listen. If you land flat, if you get caught flush, then you're gonna get put away by anyone, I guess, at that level. But now, like, it wasn't nothing special. I sparred the likes of George Groves, James DeGale, Josh Taylor. I sparred everyone. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of looking at his media and what he's done. I was kind of like wary, but yeah, he's nothing. It's nothing on them guys. If I'm honest, like, yeah.
Now let's talk a bit about you as a professional when you come in. Like I said, I understand you're going to be turning over at middleweight. How fast do you want to move? I'm sure the people around you will be saying, just slow down, you're only 25. If it was up to you, how quick?
Oh, you don't get me wrong, listen, I can't be calling loads of people out. I'm not deluded and things like that. Like, first might be 6 rounds, get a feel of things, you know, get these. Last time I fought was in November. I had 5 fights in a week. And then, so like, that ring rush to be there a bit, shake off the cobwebs, have another 6 round. Hopefully I can get 2 or 3 fights this year, 6 rounds, and then next year, I suppose MDK will start banging the 10 rounds out and then hopefully get titles. But I'm not hanging about. I'm not having 15 fights, 15 minutes against journeyman. I'm not getting nothing out of that. Nothing at all. Really, like, I can't. I'll be honest, Ryan, I can't be fucked for it. I'd rather just have a proper fight and test myself. And the middleweight is popping. Like, it's popping. There's some talent there, but most lads are all beatable. They're all very beatable. And I think, like, we'll see. We see what happens. Like, yeah, we'll see what happens. Like, but I want to, like, obviously MTK and P are my best interest, but I'd fight anyone on any day notice. And I think most fighters like that anyway. A lot of fighters talk it. They talk it when it comes to it, they're not on it. But like, yeah, time will tell. But yeah, next year looking for titles. End of next year for sure.
It's interesting you said you sparred with Josh Taylor. Josh, obviously former Team GB as well. He's gone on to achieve great things very quickly in the pro ranks. Is that the sort of blueprint that you would be looking at for how fast you want to be moved? Josh had his tests at domestic level, then he went to fringe world and then straight through there at world level. Is that a similar path you would like?
For sure, 100%. Like, perfect. He's a perfect example. And what he's doing now is flying. He's flying and like, and what he's done for Scotland as well. Like, he's taking to another level. So. Yeah, and Joey's a class lad because I'm a lot heavier than him. And I thought to myself, like, he's good, you know. He's sharp. He's got a strong shape. I just thought, you know what? I thought, like, he's a bit of a killer. He's a killer. So I rate Josh. I do rate Josh. So yeah, he's flying. But yeah, that's a prime example. No messing about. And Josh is a fighter. Like, he's a realist. Do you know what I mean? He's a realist, and he's in there. And he fight anyone. And look where he is today. Do you know what I mean? He's had no, like, he's not ducking and diving. He's like, yeah, boom, 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 done. Sorted. That's what it's about.
Now, as you embark on your professional journey, a lot of fighters like to envisage the sort of end goal, if you will. I'm sure you're no different. When you think about it, what is it you want to achieve in boxing? What would it be that you achieve and think, okay, that's enough for me now?
To put my family in a financially secure thing, 100%. I'll come from a broken home, broken home. So I want to change my generation, but don't get me wrong. Like I want to be making history in my town. My town's famous for fighting, and we've had like the likes of Billy Schwer, Graham Hill, Charles Bronson, all these big names come out of my town. And I want to bring it proper, make proper history, and that's what I want to do. Like be a proper icon in my town, and yeah. But when all the titles come through, there's no wrong. That's every boxer's dream to win all the titles. That's what I'm coming for anyway. But to be financially secure, you got to win them titles. You got to win them. You got to perform in them big nights. So coming for everything. I want everything. Do you know what I mean?
Jordan, final one before I let you go. You're part of a sort of new wave of fighters coming through that know how to market themselves. They know how to utilize social media and maximize their profile as well. Is that something you've always been conscious of? We've seen you're very savvy with social media. I've seen you on first dates. You've done all sorts of things. You've always been mindful of that?
Yeah, like I've known also when I first did the boxing gym at 15, 16, it was a pro gym. And I kind of analysed everything. And I see like lads not even going, they were good fighters, but because they had no branding and they couldn't talk in front of a camera or they couldn't do nothing, they weren't getting seen. So I thought, you know what? Why not be the full package, man? Like I enjoy it. Like, and people take to me because I'm a bit different. I love the 50s, I love the Elvis, and you know what I mean. Like I'm just a normal guy. I'm just a normal geezer. Do you know what I mean? But I'll put it out there. I ain't you know, scared to show away. But social media is a big thing, especially nowadays. The world's moving digital, which I hate. Do you know what I mean? It's bad, but you kind of got to move with it, and it's business. So, but yeah, it's definitely key. It's key.
All right, Jordan, I've rambled on with you for just over 20 minutes here, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. It's been a
That's
pleasure. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to Boxing Social. I'm sure we'll catch you when you've got that official fight date locked in.
Yep. Can't wait, mate. Listen, thanks for having me, and we'll catch up soon.